Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I am finally here with my first small booktuber shoutouts video. I've been planning this video for ages, but I kept putting off filming it because I felt so bad about the fact that obviously I wouldn't be able to recommend all of the booktubers I love at once, and I was so worried about leaving people out and people feeling like because they weren't in the first video, they're lower down on my favorites list. It's a whole big thing that I didn't need to worry about. I think everybody watching these knows that just because they're not in the first video doesn't mean they won't be in a later one or that they are somehow not as much of a favorite, and the order that I'm talking about people in this video also doesn't matter, so I'm just gonna do the video. So, in no particular order, here are some of my favorite small booktubers who I think you guys should really check out. I'm gonna talk a little bit about each of them and why I love them, and also link to a particular video of theirs that I really enjoyed. So the first booktuber that I want to mention is Menaul from Menaul and Her Books. Now, I love her channel and personality so much. I think she has a really great balance of backlist books and new releases, and I love the fact that when I watch one of her wrap-ups or tags, I will pretty much always come across a book that I hadn't read or even hadn't heard of before, and I think that's really cool. And I feel like wrap-ups are a great way to see a booktuber's reading taste or personality, and sometimes you find one where you just click. And that's what happened with Menaul. I'm going to link to one of her wrap-up videos down below because I just really love the way that she can summarize a book and her feelings in such a concise way, and she was the one who directed me to the Roman Mysteries series by Caroline Lawrence, which I have read the first book now and I loved it, so I definitely trust her opinion. Also, we both love Cress and Thorn from the Lunar Chronicles, so that definitely doesn't hurt. Next, I want to recommend Laura from Bookie Laura. Now again, Laura's personality is just so engaging, and just something about her I just really love and get along with. I love the fact that she reads a wide range of ages in literature. She reads a lot of middle grade fiction, which I love. That is so important to me, and I just love seeing more people read and recommend middle grade books. She has given me some excellent recommendations for middle grade that I am excited to get into. And she also does all of her videos with no notes or planning. She always apologizes for this, but I think it's pretty impressive and amazing, and she's just so clear and concise with all of her videos that she does. She's so good at getting her thoughts across in a very short amount of time, which is something I could probably work on. And I love the variety of videos she does. She has some amazing book discussions or book chats that I have loved, and she also does this 1 minute or short review series of videos where she basically reviews a book in, I think it's a minute. She might be moving it up to a minute and a half, but I just think that's so cool, and I'm going to link to her book discussion video on genres because that was one of the ones I think I found first from her channel, and I love what she says in that video. Next, I'm going to tell you about Tricia from Tell Her a Story. And Tricia is just so well-spoken and intelligent, and I just love her, and she does such fantastic reviews for all of the books that she talks about. I'm going to link to her Zenith review and discussion video because that was the first one I came across and the one that convinced me to subscribe, because she's just so adept at laying out her thoughts very logically and concisely. And for example, I absolutely love the fact that in a recent review I was watching for her, she mentioned world building in a contemporary novel, because that's something I think is super important that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's just Tricia is so thorough with her reviews, and I love that about her. And she's also created a couple of super fun book tags. I just did one recently that was the boy band song book tag, and she also did a girl group tag, so she's just such a fun personality, and that comes across in all of her videos. Next is Olivia from Read by Liv. Olivia is just so much fun to watch. She's clearly having a good time on camera, and I just love the fact that she's so genuinely funny. Nothing ever feels put on. It just feels like this is her personality and she is sharing it with us, and it's wonderful. She is just hilarious without even trying. And she's also just so wonderfully supportive and interactive in the community. I mean, basically all the booktubers I'm going to talk about are, but I just love the way that Olivia really makes an effort to engage with commenters and with other creators, and she's just so much fun. And I also love the fact that she's not afraid to share her negative opinions on her channel, because I am a big fan of negative book tags or, things like that, where it's great to take a break sometimes from being completely positive about reading and be like, this book sucked, or I hated this book. Because she always does it in a way where it's not judgmental at all of people who enjoy the book, but as somebody who enjoys watching negative opinion videos, she's pretty great for that too. I'm actually going to link you to her unpopular opinions tag because I had a great time watching that. Next is Yvette from Book Cave, and one of the amazing things about Yvette's channel is that she reads so diversely. I'm talking in terms of race, ethnicity, sexuality. She just reads so diversely, and it's really wonderful to get recommendations for so many different perspectives or areas, and I just love the fact that I can go to her channel and get those. And she also highlights quite a few underhyped books that are oftentimes very diverse as well, so I just love being able to get recommendations for books that aren't necessarily all over BookTube. I'm going to link you to one of the tag videos she did where she highlights some great recommendations for diverse books, which honestly I could have picked pretty much one of any of her videos because, like I said, that's something that she really does often. And that brings me to Priscilla from Bucky Charm, and I am talking about her next because these two fabulous ladies are actually sisters, and of course they both have BookTube channels, and I love both of them. Priscilla also reads very diversely. She also has this really amazing talent for the way she does tag videos, where I watch one of her tags and I'm like, I want to read all of these like right now. You know, these are all books that I could pick up at this second and that I'm excited about, which I think is such a cool thing. And she and Yvette actually did My Sister Buys Me Books like videos on each of their channels. They were just so much fun, and that's actually how I found Priscilla's channel. I will also link you to her Pixar book tag because that's one of the ones I'm talking about where like you watch that video and it's like, all of these are now on my TBR. Also, Priscilla has like the most adorable laugh I think I have ever heard. I'm sorry if that's a weird thing to say, Priscilla. I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable, but she's great. Next is Allie from Allie M Books. So first of all, Allie is a part of my little, what I think of as like my Shakespeare squad, because she has some amazing thoughts on Shakespeare's plays and we've talked about them quite a few times, and I just love the fact that she is also very passionate about one of my favorite playwrights. And Allie is just so excited and enthusiastic in all of her videos. She is such a sweetheart and again is very engaged in the comments and with the community, and I just love talking to her. And one of her videos recently that I watched is her Hamlet discussion video, which I will link down below because it is incredible. She has so many like thoughts and like opinions and just such amazing discussion about that play, and I just really enjoyed that video. She also does a lot of BookTuber shoutouts on her channel, so again, very involved in the community. Next is Shazza from Hooked on Books. Now Shazza is not afraid to tell it like it is. I just love how honest and clear-cut her opinions and her reviews are. She reads pretty different genres for me. She's really into literary fiction, which I don't read as much of as I'd like to, but I just love hearing her opinions and recommendations because I really do love the way that she talks about books. Also, her editing is always on point. I'm going to link you to one of her Alice in Wonderland collection videos that she has done because they're just so beautiful, and she's just a very talented like filmmaker and editor. She also does this really cool TBR roulette challenge, which I think is also really creative and cool, but I just love the way that Shazza reads a lot of different things that I don't always pick up, and it's a great way to sort of broaden your horizons. Next is Amy from Blonde and Bookish. She is another booktuber who is just so well-spoken and concise. She also has lovely bookshelves, which I know isn't like the deciding factor, but it's kind of a nice touch, I think. And I just really like the way that Amy talks about all of the books she's read. Again, she's somebody who I think her wrap-ups are very like well put together. I will link you to one of her recent ones down below. And Amy is also just such a lovely person. She's very active, again, in the comments or on other people's videos, and I feel like we have pretty similar reading tastes in a lot of areas, so I think that's also a nice thing to find. And again, I just really enjoy the way that she like talks about books and her feelings on them, and she also I think does a great job of mentioning more objective, you know, possible flaws of the book versus things that she personally just didn't like but that other people might. Next is Leah from Leah Hide and Seek. And Leah is just such a sweet and wonderful person. She's so fun and genuine, and I feel like her enthusiasm really comes across in all of her videos, which she does without any editing. Like no cuts at all, which I think is amazingly impressive. And Leah is another person who just every time I watch a tag video of hers, it's like you get so amped up about the books she's talking about because she makes them sound so amazing. And Leah is also an Australian booktuber, so if that's something that you're really interested in, she highlights a lot of Australian fiction, which I think is really cool. I will link you to the video she did of the My Pleasures book tag Australian edition because, as the name implies, she featured all Australian authors. Also, she knows the value of a nice strong strong red lip, which I really appreciate as well. And the last booktuber I'm going to recommend today is Ashley from Ashley Stormo. Again, she's just such a kind and lovely and positive person, and I feel like the aesthetics of her videos are just always impressive and lovely to look at. I will link you to her recent Easter video that's just gorgeously shot and edited. I just think Ashley is such a talented creator, and she also writes fiction and screenplays, so if you guys are involved in AuthorTube, that is something to check out as well. And Ashley just has this wonderful balance of content on her channel. She does a lot of different things. She talks about books, she talks about movies, she does like those really kind of visual videos that I really enjoy, and she just has a lot to offer. Okay everybody, so those are some of my favorite small booktubers who I really enjoy and I think you guys should definitely check out. As I mentioned in my little intro, I obviously have many more booktubers who I love. I will continue to make these videos. I feel like all of us who are involved in the booktube community know that there are just so many fantastic, wonderful people involved here that it's possible to have all of them as your favorite simultaneously. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!